About 3 or 4 years ago, I was approached by BAE, and they asked me if I would want to make a boot which would be compatible with their planes and the equipment and the flying suits of the pilots and the other aircrew. That boot would have to be compatible with their aeroplanes, but also with the pilot and his equipment. And so I said, yes, I'll try that, because I like making specialist boots. But they went on then to tell me the sort of things I'd be looking for. And this is the result. It's called the Falcon's pilot boot. This is my first aircrew boot or fighter pilot's boot. Never made one before. Now it just looks like an ordinary black boot to most people, and that's perfectly understandable. But a lot more to this than meets the eye. Where the difference starts is in the sole. It's a non-debris pickup sole. Now, it won't pick up anything off the floor. That's the important thing about it. Because for these planes, if somebody picked up a bit of a spring or a bit of a screw or something like that and carried it inside of the aircraft, and then that nut got entangled in part of the workings of the aircraft, it can go down through the mechanisms of the aircraft, and next thing you can be falling out of the sky because it jams something. So it had to be non-debris pickup and tested for non-debris pickup, which this sole is. The second thing is it is resistant to all of the aircraft fluids. So jet fuel, hydraulic fluid, de-icer, the solvents they use, you name it. It's been tested against, I think there was about 9 or 10 fluids they use, and it was tested against all of those fluids. It's a special rubber that we use which is resistant to aircraft fluids. The next thing about it is the dimensions of the heel. Now with this boot I make the heel separate to the forefoot because we have to be able to move it. Because for every size, the distance from the heel breast to the toe and the length of it and the width has to fit into the rudder pedal, because it fits in there, and then they can steer the aircraft with the rudder pedal. So that was another thing about the sole specialist. Then you come to the upper. Now the pressure suit fits around the leg like this. First of all, it has to be snag free. They're wearing a pressure suit. Now that pressure suit mustn't be damaged. So if there was hooks and what have you up and down here, it could damage the pressure suit. So we made a snag-free design. It's the old-fashioned eyelet design, but it's snag-free. It won't cause a problem like that. Then there was the laces. Well, we use this method of lace tie-off just to cover the laces because it stops entanglement in the aircraft. One of the things that they asked for on this boot was it was about pilot survivability during and after ejecting from the aircraft. So this is where it got interesting for me. So it has to be able to withstand the flame for a start, because it's been fired out with rockets. It goes from a very low temperature to a much higher temperature in a matter of minutes. And it's the rapid temperature change. It's also the rapid decompression and compression, because the atmosphere up there is zero compression. So this is what happens. He has the boot. So this boot was tested for rapid decompression. It was tested for rapid temperature change, and most interestingly, it was tested in a wind tunnel, because when the pilot's falling through the air, with or without his ejector seat and his parachute, before his parachute opens, then he's travelling very fast, and they had to make sure that the boot wouldn't just get blown off the foot. And the outcome in the end was this boot. It's a good boot. It's my first pilot's boot. I never made a pilot's boot before. This is the first one. I'm a boot maker, and if somebody brings me an interesting project, I can't help myself. I'm 71 years old now, and this is the part of the job I enjoy.